everybody, welcome back to Tommy's Tesla Tech and Travel. I know you're saying to yourself, Tommy, I thought you said you didn't drive the Tesla that much anymore, that she stole it. Well, she did, but we're actually both off today. The kids are being watched, and we decided to have a little day to ourselves to go get some Christmas shopping done, but also to go see the famous 4th Avenue Street Fair. Born and bred in Tucson, I have actually never been to it. So if I've never been to it, I can't imagine you've been to it.
I think when Danny and Gretchen were here.
You went with my family when I was
yeah.
at work. That's right. How'd you enjoy it? 'Cause it's like arts and crafts and street fair stuff, right?
Yeah, it's basically a bunch of booths with local vendors, and it's really neat because you just get to see so much different stuff.
Okay. Well, I'm excited to go check it out, especially this close to the holidays times too. Like, we all can go shop at the big box stores, which is perfectly fine. But there's also something said to buy those one-off things that you can't just get anywhere that's going to be unique and something that maybe, I don't know, reminds you specifically of that person to whom you're buying it for.
Yeah.
So why not? Let's go check it out. And part 2, the reason we're in the Tesla is I got rear-ended again. That's right, I was at a clean stop on 22nd Avenue here in Tucson, or 22nd Street. And I just got that feeling, that spidey sense. I'm like, something bad's gonna happen. So I just look at my rear view, sure enough, I see a little tan Nissan that's not even slowing down. I don't know exactly what she was doing, but she hit me going about 30 miles an hour. Damage to my car, I hope it's not totaled. We'll find out here soon. It's drivable, but there's a lot of damage, and I think the damage might exceed the potential value, but we'll find out. So it's out of commission for the moment, so we're in the Tesla. Well, with that being said, let's go down to the 4th Avenue Street Fair. Let's check it out for a while. We probably have to stop by the bank though, because places like this tend to not usually take a whole lot of card.
Yeah.
They prefer cash. And I don't know if we're planning on buying anything, but we want to be ready if we are. So next stop, historic 4th Avenue, which is right near downtown, which according to a news article I read yesterday, is now the most crime-ridden part of Arizona per square mile. I go downtown a lot. I don't know how true that is.
Yeah.
Let's go find out. Let's go. Making our way downtown, walking fast and going to 4th Avenue.
We're not walking fast.
We are not walking fast. Dana's still recovering and I'm just lazy. But I'm glad to see her up and walking around. For those who know, have been following around, she's had surgery recently. She's getting there. This is the most I've seen you up and around and about in a few days.
Yeah.
So, this type of place, like we said, it's like handmade stuff. It's, you know, artisans and arts and crafts and whatnot. Is there anything in particular you were hoping to see, maybe if they have?
No, I just want to look.
Okay.
I like looking.
She does like looking. I always have to remind her, we actually haven't seen anything yet. She's just walked by the stuff. She looks at it briefly and keeps walking. And as we make our way over, it's really cool to see a lot of the historical like housings and architecture over here. This is one of the older neighborhoods in Tucson. And you can really see it by the amazing old architecture. Like over here, I can't remember if this is a frat or sorority. I believe it's a sorority house. But still, beautiful architecture. So those of you who have been following the channel know I've been doing the Great Southern Arizona Pizza Crawl. Well, Thai Market is actually one of the most famous pizza places in Tucson, especially if you grew up and went to the University of Arizona or grew up around there. That's on our list coming soon, but we actually have a pizza stop coming today. I'm really excited for that one. But that's coming up later, so stay tuned. So like I said earlier, this is my first time actually coming down to the 4th Avenue Street Fair, which is kind of surprising. This event's been around for over 50 years, and it's a vital part of the Tucson economy, and it's one of the big events that draws people into Tucson. So, without further ado, let's go check out what the offerings are. I already see our first stop. Bacon cookies. I'm sad, I thought it said bacon cookies. You pointed out it was bacon cookers.
Yeah.
Now I want bacon cookies.
Sorry.
So the one problem I'm having with filming down here is I come from a comic convention background where you hate when people film your original art and IP. I don't want to record the people's stuff without their permission. So I've got to be very conscious about not capturing it unless I know they're okay with it. Hey, hey. So this is exactly what I was just talking about. It's just a common courtesy thing. And don't forget, we're down here checking everything out at the street fair. There's tons of local businesses that are here year-round that can use your support as well. So make sure you're stopping by and checking out all the stuff that's here to offer on the historic 4th Avenue in Tucson. Like with this person here, her name is Cynthia. This place is called Ann Gallery. Come buy stuff, and if not, she will find you. I will find you. But seriously though, this place has so many cool things to offer, so many original artists, so many original statues, toys, art prints, t-shirts. I mean, if you like originality, this is the place to come. It's right here on 4th Avenue, right in the middle of the street fair. Well, that was a fun detour. Me and Cynthia have been friends. We actually talked about it. We've been friends for like 13 years.
Yeah.
We met at an electronics store that's now defunct. We established that. It's like we're walking down Main Street in Disneyland. I rolled my ankle twice on the train tracks so far.
Yeah.
And no matter where you're at in Tucson, make sure you stop and appreciate all the murals. I think our murals in the city are second to none. You'll find them everywhere, especially down here on Historic Avenue, 4th Avenue, because we are like an arts district. But the murals are everywhere. Take your time and appreciate them, and check out the artist signatures and everything as well. The really cool thing about being on Historic 4th Avenue is really is something for everybody during the street fairs. Everything from young to old to new and vintage to handmade to, you know, original artwork. I mean, there's even stuff for dogs. We saw a couple cool places that were offering dog treats made out of repurposed antlers. I mean, I love my homemade stuff. I love my original stuff made here in Arizona. I'm actually wearing a Cumulative shirt right now. It's one of my favorite designers ever. And thank you for liking my videos in the past, man. You do great work. Keep it up. And actually, one of the only few downsides to things like this, we found something we really liked that we wanted to purchase, which was a decently sized purchase.
Yeah.
But like I said earlier, most places here only take cash. In this case, you took cash or Zelle, which I don't do Zelle. So we didn't have enough cash on. So we either got to think about it and go find an ATM or go back and renegotiate. And the Barstool Arizona Bowl is coming up. Dave Portnoy, the other pizza reviewer, who's way better than me. The funny thing is, when we started doing our pizza reviews, I had no idea who Dave Portnoy was. One of my employees actually said, oh, like the guy from Barstool Sports. I was like, what are you talking about? And now I've been kind of obsessively watching it to catch up. It's actually a really fantastic turnout for this early on the first day. Of course, they're all here before it gets hot. Yes, December hot in Arizona is like high 70s, low 80s, but it's still warm. I've already got to take my sweater off. Ah, bison witches, a Tucson staple. If you want a sandwich the size of your head that will fill you up for 3 days, bison witches. Am I right?
Yeah.
We've completed the first half. We're making the U-turn now. Anything that stuck out in your mind so far that you've liked?
I like the pictures.
What pictures?
The door pictures.
So, since we couldn't show them, sorry, what she's describing is she saw some original photos that were like gussied up and really cool custom framing.
Yeah.
We're actually going to pick one up. So we're going to head back there, but the price he wanted was fair. It's just he didn't take card and I didn't bring that much cash. So we're probably going to negotiate for a smaller photo. We made our first purchase. Show us the bag. All right, we'll show you guys when we get home, but they're really cool. And if you find yourself down here too, Tiny Town is one of my favorite places. I've gotten so many cool original pieces of clothing there. It's definitely worth it. And they do amazing print work as well. Well, that was an unexpected surprise. We just ran into some of my friends from up in the Portland area that happen to be down here. They're here visiting family during the holidays. And see, I've always told you, with guys, it's like no time's passed. I haven't seen them in probably like 4 years.
I know.
It's just, hey, what's up? Hey, man. And our second purchase. And now I got a little something too. It was weird, we were talking about Cumulative. I actually picked up a new Cumulative cross-brand promotion that just dropped today. I actually really like it. Only thing is, it is cream colored, so the children are not allowed near me. So I think we've had a lot of fun so far, but I think it's time to start wrapping it up and heading back to the car. So we got a little bit of a walk to go. Speaking of the Great Southern Arizona Pizza Crawl, also on the next round. I feel like this is turning into Tommy's food tour. This is actually a fantastic chicken spot. I've eaten here once right before a meeting. We gotta do a visit here sometime. I'm telling you, for no other reason, just come downtown to check out the murals, whether it's on 4th Avenue, 6th Street, downtown Tucson, and just basically all around Tucson on the side of most independently owned restaurants. They got some sort of murals and they all rock. Well, that'll do it from our experience at the 4th Avenue Street Fair. We'll go over everything we got a little bit later when we get home and we're not driving around. But I have to say, you know, for a guy who goes to conventions all the time for comic books, I was a little underwhelmed because it's exactly what I'm used to doing. But I can see why, like, the average person, this is a huge deal for someone coming in to Tucson to visit family or around. They only can do this once a year. So I'm a little spoiled from all my convention travels. But, you know, for you, like, I know this is kind of up your alley. You love, like, arts and crafts, handmade stuff. What'd you feel about it?
I liked it. I was kind of surprised to see some of the different artists from, like, further away. There was
someone from Minnesota.
Wyoming.
There you go. And the one from Minnesota just had a bunch of pictures of Tucson that were large and framed, so they've obviously been here a couple times.
Snowbird.
There you go. And that's a good point. It is snowbird season, so this is an attraction for all the folks coming into Tucson that spend, you know, a few months here every year. For those of you not familiar with that term, a snowbird is someone who lives somewhere where it's really cold during this time of year, so they come to Arizona to not freeze.
Yeah.
And they make our lives really hard when we're driving around this time of year, especially for work. But I have to say, 4th Avenue Street Fair was great. So many great small businesses are down there year-round that we should all go and patronize. But we also get to see these one-off ones as well. So, like, I picked up a few things, you picked up a few things, and we got something for the house as well.
Yeah.
So we'll go over all that once we get home. But I have to say, if you're in Tucson and you know the street fair is going on, it's 100% worth the stop. I mean, heck, we ran into one of my friends who I didn't know was in town who lives up in Oregon.
Yeah.
So it was nice to see him while he was down here. All right, guys, next stop, what we got? as promised, we're going to go over the stuff that we bought at the street fair. And what's really unique and nice about this is the fact that you don't get just the off-the-shelf stuff. You get either specialized one-off things or something that even represents a specific place and time. In this case, its place is Tucson. So let's start off with what you got. You have an affinity for tea towels. And we stopped by a place called Juju and Moxie Company, and they had Tucson and Arizona themed tea towels. So like this one actually is a bunch of neon signs that are famously from all around Tucson, including like the Rialto Theater,
Hotel Congress.
Yeah, I mean, the Tucson Inn, which that one still stands today, even though the Tucson Inn is kind of defunct at this point.
Yeah, Caruso's.
And there's actually a really famous neon sign when you're driving down Oracle in Tucson, or one of the main roads here, Oracle, with the Welcome to Tucson sign. Just a big neon swirl that says Tucson. But in addition to the ones from Tucson, Danny got a couple that she really liked too that just kind of showed our Southwest landscape. You know, from the paddle cactuses, and then we got some more with the native saguaro on there. So she saw these. I gotta give a little background here. When Dana says she likes to look at things, she likes to walk in a straight line and not get near the stuff. She likes to look at them from a distance. So when I saw her stop and go into this place, I automatically knew she was buying something. Because you don't really like go and buy a lot of these things at these places. You just like to look at them. And this one really caught your eye, which I thought was kind of cool. Where do you plan on putting these? Because he asked you, are these going to be a gift or are these for yourself? And you said?
I don't know.
So you might keep them.
Maybe.
If not, were you thinking about giving them to anyone specific? You don't have to say who, in case they watch the video. But
I had an idea.
Okay. Fair enough. Kill them with words. The next thing we got was actually a picture. At first we kind of looked at it walking up. We thought it was a painting. As we got closer, we realized it was a picture. And now that I look at it closer, I actually think, I don't know if the person actually took the picture, but they texturized it and they actually built the frame themselves. I would love to tell you who made it, but he wasn't the most forthcoming with information when we talked to him. So we intentionally wanted to buy a much larger one that we saw. And he told us the price. I said, okay, no. And the price he told us, I just kind of assumed, okay, for that price, this guy obviously takes card. So we didn't bring that much cash with us. So I pulled out my card, or I was getting my card, and he's like, no, I only do cash or Zelle. I'm like, okay, well, I don't do Zelle. So, or check. I was like, okay, I don't do those, but tell us, if we find an ATM, we'll come back around. And he's like, well, leave me the $100 and I'll hold it for you. I'm like, no, we'll come back around, it's fine. Went back around, and after we talked about it, you actually liked the smaller one than what we saw, which these were only 50. And I was like, okay, that's not bad. We get back there, and he's like, well, I'll tell you what, if you're local, give me $100 now, and you can mail me the check later. I trust you. I was like, okay, this is getting a little weird for me. Then I asked him, do you have a card? And what did he say?
No.
That's it, just no. Oh, okay. Well, thank you for your time, I guess. And the next place we stopped at is, I've seen this apparel around before. I'm going to mispronounce this if I do, and I apologize. You guys can correct me on there if you're watching. Gabacho Media. So, I said earlier in this video, I'm a big fan of the Cumulative Designs. He's a local designer from here in Arizona, in Tucson. And I really like his stuff. And this guy has now done great collaborations all over, including like with our friend Paula Paczynski and the All Paula Paczynski Project. He's a musician. If you haven't seen him, please check out his stuff. It's all great. I know you can get it on iTunes and any place that streams music. So I like this stuff too, and I like that he's like a one-man shop for the most part. Well, I saw one of his designs on the Gabacho wall. Apparently they had a collaboration going, and I decided, you know what, that's a shirt for me. So I picked it up. So Cumulative Stuff is really known for having the Arizona outline of the state as the pocket. In this case, their collaborative design has the Gabacho logo in it as well. And also, it has San Javier del Bac. As you remember, we went there with my sister and brother-in-law and my nephew when they were here. And that's a very special place for us, too. And I really like this shirt. And one thing for me is, I love hats, and I've destroyed a lot of my hats recently as I wear them out. So I got a cool little green one with Gabacho's logo on it that, you know, I'll probably wear around and beat up as well. So we didn't get a whole lot from the street fair, but what we got is stuff that really spoke to us. And that's what's great about shows like this. You walk around, you see things. It's not just the random cookie cutter stuff that everybody gets. We are literally getting things that spoke to our individual personalities. So I can't say enough. I really enjoyed the street fair. Like I said earlier, someone who goes to conventions all the time, to me it's an outdoors convention like I go to for comic books and sports and stuff. But it doesn't mean it loses its appeal or luster. Is this something you'd like to do again?
Yeah.
Maybe we have more time?
And I'm not walking super slow.
Recovering from surgery. I do feel like bad parents. We skipped out on our children to do this, but we all need breaks sometimes. So they're hanging out with grandma and their aunt today. So guys, thanks for taking another ride with us. That was the 4th Avenue Street Fair. So if you find yourself in Tucson, unfortunately this year it's only
Twice a year.
Twice a year,
It's twice
sorry.
a year.
Twice a year. Right now it's December 8th through the 10th. And I know it happens again in like, not the fall, but is it the fall?
No.
It happens twice a year, so probably 6 months from now. But check out their website. I'll link everything down below, and I'll put down links for everything we got here too if you want to check it out for yourself. Well, everything we can. We don't have anything for the picture, unfortunately. But guys, thanks for taking another ride with us. We're about to go off and try a new pizza place, so check out our stops on the Great Southern Arizona Pizza Crawl, and go back and watch all of our videos on day trips around Tucson, and through Southern Arizona, and through Disney, and all the other places we travel. And we're going to be traveling some new places here pretty soon. But until then, bye-bye, everybody.